The music hit before the door opened. Bass through the walls. Lights shifting. Voices layered over each other. Troy stepped inside. Didn't look around much. He already knew the room. Renee spotted him before he reached the floor. She smiled slightly. You don't come here unless something's on your mind. Troy gave a small shrug. That obvious? Yeah. She walked over, heels steady, eyes locked on him. You working or thinking? Thinking. Worse, she said. They moved off to the side. Not private, but quieter. Enough space to talk without leaning in. Renee studied him. You look like you already left, she said. Not yet. She tilted her head. You ever think about just disappearing? Sometimes. Where would you go? Somewhere quiet. Renee smiled. You wouldn't last. Troy looked at her. Maybe in another life. She held his gaze. Didn't smile this time. You always say things like, right before you do something, she said. Troy didn't answer. Renee leaned back against the wall. You still dealing with everything from Ed? Yeah. She nodded slowly. That situation's not done. Troy looked at her. What you hearing? Renee lowered her voice. Mandy. Troy's expression shifted. Just enough. What about her? She thinks she's pregnant. Troy didn't respond right away. She sure? He asked. She's late, Renee said. And she's not the type to guess. Troy looked away. Ran it through his head. Timing. Situations. What that actually meant. That's a problem, he said. Renee nodded. It's a real one. Troy exhaled slowly. You talked to her. No, Renee said. But she's talking to other people. Troy's eyes narrowed slightly. Like who? Enough, Renee said. It's moving. Troy shook his head once. Yeah. Renee watched him. You didn't think that part through. I didn't think it would turn into this. She crossed her arms. It always turns into something. Troy didn't argue. You gonna deal with it? She asked. Yeah. How? I'll figure it out. Renee gave a small nod. Didn't push. You got a lot going on, she said. Troy looked at her. And you're about to add something else, she said. That got his attention. What makes you say that? You don't come here like this unless you're in the middle of something, she said. Or about to be. Troy didn't answer. Renee stepped closer. Just don't let everything stack at once, she said. That's when people mess up. Troy nodded once. I'm not. She studied him, didn't look convinced. You think you're in control, she said. I am. Renee didn't argue. She looked at him for a second longer, then softened slightly. Just be careful, she said. Troy gave a small nod. I always am. Renee smiled, but it didn't fully land. You keep saying that. Troy looked around the room. People moving, music loud, nothing connected to what he had going on. You ever think about getting out of here? He asked. Renee followed his eyes. Every day. What stops you? She shrugged. Same thing that keeps you here. Troy didn't respond. Renee looked back at him. If you disappear, she said, don't do it halfway. Troy met her eyes. I won't, she nodded once. You better not. They stood there, close, quiet. Renee stepped back. You staying? Troy shook his head. No, she smiled slightly. Figures. Troy started toward the door. Then stopped, looked back at her. Another life, he said. Renee held his gaze. Yeah. He walked out. Renee watched him go. Her expression changed once he was gone. More serious now. She pulled out her phone, started to type, stopped, deleted it, then put the phone away. Be careful, she said quietly. Jason arrived at Troy's house. Troy leaned against his car. Jason stood a few feet away, arms crossed, watching him. So, the deal is all set. You went without me, Jason said. Troy didn't answer right away. He kept his eyes on the street. Cars passed. Headlights cut across the pavement and disappeared. That's not smart, Jason continued. Not with something like this. It's cleaner, Troy said. Jason shook his head. Cleaner for who? Troy pushed off the car and turned toward him. For both of us. Jason let that sit. Didn't like it. Or it leaves you exposed, Jason said. Troy met his eyes. I'm not bringing you into that room. I'm already in it, Jason said. No, Troy replied. You know about it. That's different. Jason stepped closer. That's not different, he said. That's worse. Troy didn't move. If something goes wrong, Jason continued, I'm still tied to it. Not like I am, Troy said. Jason held his gaze. That's exactly my point. Troy looked away, back to the street. I know what I'm doing, he said. Jason exhaled. You always say that. And I'm still here? Jason gave a short laugh. Yeah. So far. Bat winded. Troy nodded slightly. Exactly. Jason studied him, trying to read what wasn't being said. You really trust this guy? Jason asked. I trust the way he set it up, Troy said. That's not the same thing. It's enough. Jason shook his head again. You don't even know him. I don't need to. That's not how this works. It is this time. Jason ran a hand over his face. Frustration building. 3 million. Troy. I know. That's not small. I know. That's not something you just walk into like. I'm not walking into anything, Troy cut in. I already walked through it. Jason stopped. That's supposed to make me feel better? No, Troy said. It's supposed to make you understand. Jason looked at him. Longer this time. You're not telling me everything, he said. No. Why? Because you don't need everything. That's not your call. It is when it involves me. Jason stepped back slightly, processing that. You're shutting me out, he said. I'm keeping you out, Troy corrected. Jason shook his head. Same thing. No, Troy said. Not even close. Jason looked down for a second, then back up. You think this ends clean? He asked. Yes, just like that. Yes. Jason stared at him, didn't believe it. You're missing something, he said. Troy didn't respond. Jason stepped closer again, lowered his voice. Every time it gets this big, he said, something shifts. Troy nodded once. I know. Then why are you acting like it won't? Because I already accounted for it. Jason frowned. You don't even know what it is. I don't need to, Troy said. I just need to make sure it doesn't touch me. Jason shook his head again. That's not how it works. It is if you do it right. Jason let out a slow breath. You're too calm, he said. Troy smirked slightly. That's the point. Jason didn't smile. You ever think that's what's going to get you caught, he said. Troy looked at him. No, he said. What gets people caught is panic. Jason held his gaze. And what happens when this goes sideways, he said, and you don't have room to panic? Troy didn't answer. That silence sat there, heavier than anything they'd said so far. Jason nodded slowly. Yeah, he said. That's when I thought. Troy reached into the car, opened the passenger door. Jason watched him, didn't ask. Troy pulled out a small bag, zipped. He held it for a second, then tossed it to Jason. Jason caught it instinctively. Looked at it, then back at Troy. What's this? Open it. Jason unzipped the bag. Stacks. Tight. Real. He paused. Looked up. How much? 30. Jason stared at him. For what? Hold it. Jason zipped the bag halfway. Didn't take his eyes off Troy. Why? Just hold it, Troy said. Jason shook his head. No. Troy frowned slightly. Why not? Because this isn't random, Jason said. You don't just hand me 30 grand for nothing. It's not for nothing. Then what is it for? Troy didn't answer. Jason let out a breath. See, he said, this is what I'm talking about. Troy leaned against the car again. It's just in case, he said. Jason stared at him. In case what? Troy didn't respond. Jason waited. Nothing. That silence said more than anything else. Jason looked down at the bag, then back at Troy. You're expecting something, he said. No, that's not what this looks like. It's not what it is. Then say it. Troy didn't. Jason nodded slowly. Yeah, he said. That's what I thought. He held the bag tighter now, like it weighed more than it did. You're not telling me something? Jason said. No. Jason shook his head again. You keep saying that. And it's still true. Jason looked at him. Really, what this time? You sure you're not already in deeper than you think? Troy didn't react. I know where I'm at, he said. Jason nodded. Yeah, he said. That's the problem. Troy pushed off the car, opened the driver's door. Jason stepped forward. If something happens, it won't. You don't know that. Troy stopped, looked at him. I know what I'm walking into, he said. Jason held his gaze, didn't argue. Troy got in, started the car. Jason stood there, the bag in his hand. You better be right, he said. Troy didn't answer. The engine settled. The headlights came on. Troy pulled out, didn't look back. Jason stayed where he was. Watching the car disappear down the street, he looked down at the bag again, unzipped it slightly. Stacks. Real. He zipped it shut. Yeah, he said quietly. That's not nothing. He looked back down the street. Empty now. Jason didn't move for a while. Troy sat at the table. Stacks in front of him. Neat. Tight. Ready. He didn't touch them right away. Just looked. Every bundle squared. Every edge clean. No variation. He picked one up. Ran his thumb across the edge. Smooth. Set it down. His phone buzzed. Walt. Troy read it. No follow-up. No extra words. He typed back. Troy. Same. Sent. Locked the phone. He leaned back slightly. Looked around the room. Nothing out of place. Nothing moving. Exactly how he wanted it. He stood. Walked over to the window. Looked out. Street was quiet. A car passed. Didn't slow down. Troy watched it anyway. Then stepped back. He grabbed a duffel. Set it on the table. Opened it. Started loading. One stack at a time. No rush. No hesitation. Stack. Adjust. Stack. Adjust. He stopped halfway through. Looked at the table. Counted with his eyes. Then kept going. Zipped the bag halfway. Checked the weight. Lifted it. Balanced. Set it back down. He walked to the kitchen. Grabbed a glass. Filled it with water. Didn't drink it. Set it on the counter. His phone buzzed again. Unknown number. He looked at it. Didn't answer. It stopped. Then another message came in. Kitty, my ex is screwing me over again. I might be ready to talk. Troy read it. Let it sit. He typed nothing. Locked the phone. Too much already. He walked back to the table. Looked at the bag. Then at the remaining stacks. He finished loading. Zipped it fully. Pulled it tight. He lifted it again. Held it for a second. Weight felt right. He set it by the door. Walked back once more. Checked the room. Table clear. Nothing left behind. He turned off the light. Then stopped. Walked back. Turned it on again. Looked around one more time. Nothing missed. He turned it off again. Grabbed the bag. Opened the door. Stepped out. Locked it behind him. He stood there for a second. Bag in hand. Stay focused, he said quietly. Then he walked to his car. The unit was closed when Troy pulled up. No movement. No sound. He parked. Sat for a second. Hands on the wheel. Then he grabbed the bag and got out. The metal door was already unlocked. He rolled it up halfway. Stepped inside. Pulled it down behind him. Walt was already there. Standing near the table. Everything in place. Table. Scale. Cases. Line. Walt didn't move. On time. Troy set the bag down on his side. Same. Walt nodded once. No changes. No changes, Troy said. They didn't step closer. Didn't reach across. Troy unzipped the bag. Stacks inside. Tight. Walt opened his case. Real money. Clean. No reaction from either of them. Troy took the first stack. Placed it on the table. Stopped it before the line. Walt stepped forward. Picked it up. Placed it on the scale. The number settled. He didn't say it. Didn't need to. He slid a bundle of real cash across. Stopped it at the line. Troy stepped forward. Picked it up. Checked it once. Set it down. Second stack. Same movement. Scale. Glide. Check. No wasted motion. Third. Fourth. Fifth. The rhythm held. Stack. Scale. Slide. Check. Over and over. Walt adjusted the table slightly, keeping alignment exact. Troy noticed. Didn't react. Half the bag was gone. Half the case was filled. Neither of them rushed. Neither of them hesitated. Another stack. Scale. Walt's eyes stayed on the number. He slid the next bundle across. Troy caught it clean. Didn't fumble. Set it with the others. He glanced once at the growing stack, then back to the bag. Stayed in it. Another stack. Another confirmation. The process didn't break. Near the end, Walt paused just long enough to reset the scale. 0.00. Then nodded. Continue. Troy didn't question it. Last stacks came out. Final weight. Final exchange. Nothing different. The last bundle sat between them. Walt looked at Troy. All of it stays. Troy nodded. Walked. They moved at the same time. Walt packed his case. Troy packed his. Stacks placed carefully. No gaps. No shifts. Walt closed his case. Clicked the locks. Troy zipped his bag. Pulled it tight. They both stepped back. No one reached forward. No one checked again. It was done. Troy turned first. Walked to the door. He rolled it up. Light came in. He stepped out. Didn't look back. The door came down behind him. Walt stayed inside, exactly where he was. He looked at the table, then the scale, then the line, everything exactly how it should be. He closed his case, picked it up. The process works, he said quietly. He walked to the door, rolled it up, stepped out, closed it behind him. Troy sat in the car. Engine running. The bag in the passenger seat. He picked up his phone. Scrolled. Stopped. Melissa. He hit call. She answered quick. Hey. Troy leaned back. A small smile. Hey. You okay? She asked. You sound different. I'm good, he said. She waited. What happened? She asked. Troy looked at the bag, then out through the windshield. I can't say too much, he said, but I finally did things right. Melissa didn't interrupt. I can walk away now, Troy said. Silence on the other end. Then, are you serious? She said. Yeah. Her voice changed. Lighter. Oh my God, she said. Troy. He smiled. Everything's going to be good from now on, baby, he said. She let out a breath. Relief. I needed to hear that, she said. You have no idea. I know, Troy said. I've been so stressed, she continued. Everything just feels off lately. Troy nodded. I'm sorry, he said. For all the stress I put you through? Melissa softened. It's okay, she said. Just don't do that to me again. I won't. She laughed lightly. You always say that. Not this time, Troy said. She believed him. I'm happy for you, she said. Really? Troy looked at the bag again. Yeah, he said quietly. He pulled into his place. Parked. Are you home? She asked. Yeah. Okay, good. Just stay there tonight, she said. Don't go anywhere. I'm not. Troy grabbed the bag. Things, got out. Unlocked the door. Stepped inside. Set the bag on the table. You still there? Melissa asked. Yeah. Troy walked over to the TV. Turned it on. Noise filled the room. I just want things to feel normal again, Melissa said. They will, Troy replied. The news cut in. Federal authorities are investigating a large-scale counterfeit operation. Troy stopped. What was that? Melissa asked. Troy didn't answer. He turned toward the screen. Distribution believed to be regional. He grabbed the remote. Turned the volume up. Troy? Melissa said. What's going on? Images flashed. Cash. Evidence. Agents. Troy stepped closer. High-quality counterfeit. Difficult to detect. Troy, Melissa said again, sharper now. Talk to me. He looked at the bag. Then back at the screen. No, he said. What do you mean, no? She asked. He paced once. Hand on his head. They're early, he said. What are you talking about? Melissa said. Troy didn't answer. He turned the volume up again. Multiple locations under review. Melissa's tone changed. Concerned now. Troy, what is that? He grabbed a glass from the counter. Threw it. It shattered against the wall. Melissa flinched on the other end. What was that? She said. Troy stood there, breathing harder. This isn't done, he said. Troy, you're scaring me, Melissa said. He ran his hands over his head. It's nothing, he said. I got it. That doesn't sound like nothing. Troy didn't respond. The TV kept going. Ongoing investigation. Melissa waited. Troy, he looked around his place. Everything felt tight. After this, I'm done, he said. What does that mean? She asked. He didn't answer. Troy, he pulled the phone away, looked at it, then ended the call. The room went quiet, except for the TV. Troy stood there, looking at the bag. Everything that felt right didn't anymore.